Hey, what's up, everybody? This is DJ Keo, and today we are talking about the DDJ FLX6. And before we even get into that, please like and subscribe, leave a comment below, help a boy out with the algorithm. And if you want to support the channel, you could buy something from our merch store, DJ Keo store, at Teesprings. And all right, let's get into it. Pioneer has released a new entry level controller. I think a lot of people were online were talking about where does this fit in. Like, it's an entry level controller. Like just cut to the chase. All right. Uh, it's a nice looking entry level controller, but there's key features that you can spot a mile away that says entry level. First of which is connectivity. How do you connect this thing to your speakers? The most obvious is XLR output. Second most obvious thing is booth. And, RCA is way down at the bottom of the totem pole. This one has a booth, but it's two RCA inputs, and then has a master out, which is another RCA input. So they're trying to give you some of the base features from a more expensive, higher end controller, but still the quality level is still on entry level. Another way that you can kind of tell is entry and kind of pro is the four channels. Most entry level around the 500 range, they only have two channels. It's a more 2x2 type controller. This one has four. These are usually the hallmarks of a budget entry level type controller. Now, as far as styling goes, and as far as what this controller is and what it can do, I think this is a good purchase. I got to be honest. Supports Serato and Rekordbox natively. Um, you don't need any drivers or anything like that. It just works right out the box, I should say. It's four channels. Jog wheels feel really good. Build quality is decent for the price point. Um, Overall, like it's a decent controller. So, if you're looking for a controller that you just want to, your first controller, you want to pick it up, or if you're a seasoned pro and you just want something to throw in the bag and you really care about it, this could be a pretty interesting point. Um, there's three selling points to this controller, and I had this theory that was banging around in my head, and I was thinking about before I set up the camera to record this thing. And I want to run this by you, and you guys can let me know what you guys think. Have we reached peak controller? Now, uh, it was an argument that scientists made in the I think it's the late '90s, and the argument was called peak oil. And so they're saying that technically, and this is a dumbed down version of the argument, but basically they're saying uh, America or North America has reached the point where it doesn't matter how much we dig, this is all the oil that's going to be inside the country going forward. Now, it turned out to be wrong, but the point is that we can look at all of these new controllers and they're very similar in build and build quality and what kind of buttons are on there. Basically, they're all variations of the very same thing. And I think that probably Tractor, when they came out with the D2 and the S5 and the S8, were the only controllers that I can think of at this moment in my time, at least just off the top of my head, that were trying to do something different, like fundamentally different from everything else. Now they got bid and ass for it, but the point is that they tried to do something from the two jog wheels, two channels, crossfader, straightforward down the line thing. Now, Pioneer has taken the approach that we're going to let this all work in the software. I can't fault them for it. So in the high end level for Pioneer, they've been knocking out the park. I have my disagreements with the CDJ 3000, but it's still a solid piece of tech. S11 has been phenomenal. And, their bread and butter is still the lower end market for DJs. And I think this is a pretty decent controller. Like it does what you want it to do. So let's talk about the specialty features out of this controller. So first feature is the Merge FX. Big giant knob, has four effects things that you can merge together and create new things on the fly. This is cool. I like it a lot. Jog Cutter, we can we can nip that in the bud. Uh Pioneer has been trying to make an easy button for scratching for new DJs for the longest time. They brought out Jazzy Jeff to do this thing. It didn't take. This is not going to take either. And the reason being is because this sample jog thing for scratching isn't on beat. And no matter how you do it, the implementation is weird. For it to work the way they want it to work, you would have to quantize the scratching and make it be on beat. And then there's just the whole, it feels wrong. Like that's one of the things, like one of the purest things for DJs that you have to learn how to do it. Some people, I'm not good at it. I'm just okay. I'm serviceable. I don't pretend to be a DMC DJ or some superstar scratching DJ Cube or whatever scratch bastard. Like I'm not. I don't pretend to do that. All right. I know my role in the DJ hierarchy. So this is one of those things where it people feel like you got to earn it. And we make concessions for sync and some stuff for mixing and effects and this kind of thing. Scratching is just a no-no for everybody. Everyone's like, don't touch that. Pioneer is hell bent on making this a reality. Stop it. Just stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
The other thing is the scratch sample thing, and this is like a banks of scratches and samples, whatever. I like that. That's good. Keep that in there. All right, so the three main styles of things that they got going on. Some of these are good. Some of them are just okay. Some of them like cut it out, but no pun intended. Overall, like I think it's a decent product. Like build quality, everything overall is pretty good. There's one caveat, and I want to laugh about it, but like it's clear. Pioneer. Okay, let me just explain this first of all. This controller is native for both Pioneer and Serato right out the box. You open up Serato, plug this thing in, you're good to go. You don't have to do any fandangling changes. Everything works right out the box. However, it is clear that the scientists in the lab for Pioneer and Rekordbox just spent a little bit more time on the Rekordbox implementation and kind of were like, yeah, we're done. Serato, here you go. They just shoved it off like a stepchild or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking, but there's a lot of half-baked things that work perfectly fine for Rekordbox and just are like, almost. Things like your effects knob, your merge effects, it's not quite. Just not quite. Your jog cutter, it's not quite. Kind of works in Rekordbox, not really in Serato. Sample scratch works. It works as advertised. I'll say that's fair. But the effects stuff. A lot of these things effects are native to Rekordbox, and they don't really take advantage of what Serato's doing. And like if you want to move between the types of effects, whatever, you can't really use the buttons on the controller. You have to get your mouse out and change it on your laptop. So like you can tell the Rekordbox thing, they were like, okay, let's get this thing exact. And then they were just like, yada, 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 yada. Okay, we're done. Serato, here you go. That's the vibe I'm getting from looking at this thing. But, we're just going to leave it like that. That's the vibe I'm getting. To each his own. If you are a Serato user, I would spend a little time working on the MIDI to polish this thing. For Rekordbox users, just dive right in. It's fine. It's good to go. Just as is. Just it's good to go. Somebody said, I think it was on DJ Tech Tips, they're saying that this is the TikTok controller. And please, dear God, no. This thing here seems more of an entry level. And I don't know if DJs who use this would even realize that they probably need better gear. I can't say for certain. The way it's designed, I think is designed to be as is and cut you off there. I don't know. That's just how I'm looking at it here. Leave your comment below and let me know what you guys think because I'm really interested in what you guys have to say about this, though. Anyways, this is the controller DDJ FLX. I think it was the Flex 6. We just call it like that. Buttons are good, controllers are good, jog wheels are good, feels decent, decent construction. No XLRs, no booth, no quarter-inch booth, I should say. But anyways, let me know what you guys think below. Do you like it? Is it a throwaway controller? Do you care? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and peace out, bitches.